The N.E.W Entrepreneur Show is sponsored by Statewide Insurers Group. As an independent agency, we can shop your insurance needs for the best coverage and the best value. Also sponsored by the Small Business Centers of Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson Community Colleges, as well as the Eastern North Carolina Center for Business and Entrepreneurship.
Good evening and welcome to the N.E.W Entrepreneur Show, the show that focuses on, spotlights, and celebrates entrepreneurship in Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson counties. Today we have a special guest. We're talking to, is it Sherrill?
Correct.
Braswell.
Correct, yes sir.
I'm not great with pronouncing names. Sherrill Braswell, and you're with the
Statewide Insurers Group.
Statewide?
Yeah, Statewide Insurers Group here in Rocky Mount. We're over on the corner of Hunter Hill and Country Club.
All right, so everybody knows where that is. And you're statewide. Do you have offices all over the state, or are you statewide from right here?
We call this our corporate headquarters. We have an office up in Roanoke Rapids. We have an office in the Albemarle area. And also one just outside of Hickory right now. So
yeah, you're a pretty far-flung concern.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
Albemarle, you near Elizabeth City, that part of the country?
No, Albemarle near Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Albemarle Sound.
Yes, sir. No,
Passport Bank and all that.
I'd like to have one down there.
I got a buddy who might work for you.
Yeah, okay, that'd be good.
So y'all got them everywhere. You kind of spread throughout the state.
Wake Forest also, forgot that.
Wake Forest is a growing area too.
Yeah.
That's everything's in Wake Forest. What you got to, I guess, 5 locations now all over the state. How long have y'all been in business?
We incorporated in May, June of 2016.
Okay, so less than 4 years.
4 years, roughly 4 years. And, I had been in the insurance industry since '82. My business partner, Joey Bright, he had been in the insurance industry since '91.
Okay. That's a lot of experience.
Yeah. And he and I had toyed with the idea through the years of working together. We both had done other agencies, had built other agencies involved with those. And I had sold one I had started many years ago and was just kind of out here, rocking along by myself and just working with people I knew. And I knew some guys who I thought were really good at this. I'd take people to them for that particular concern. And Joey and I had talked several times about forming a coalition because we had different areas that we focused in, and we just, we thought that would be a nice marriage one of these one of these days, And we talked one time very seriously about it, and we said, nah, we're going to wait a little while, and that was like in somewhere around 2000, and. Then I've driven by his office, which was in Roanoke Rapids, 10,000 times. Never gave it a second thought. And one day I'm riding by there, and a little voice in the back of my head says, "Stop and see Joey." And so I did. I figured that was my God thing for the day. The man had said, "Stop, go see him."
There you go.
And went in and. Receptionist, I said, "I'm Sherrill Braswell. I'd like to see Joey, speak to him if any way possible." And he stuck his head out of his conference room and said, "I need to talk to you. Don't leave."
Oh, wow.
So it was meant to be. We were supposed to be there. And we sat down, and some things had changed for both of us. And because I was in there thinking, need to talk to him, really need to talk about this a little bit more. And we sat there in about 30 minutes time, and we formed the the bones of what we wanted to do, and I think that was in like February or March. And then, like I said, in May, June, we did the corporation and worked, just he and I pretty much for about a year and a half to 2 years. And then we started to really develop some association work here in the state. Joey's forte was group benefits.
Oh, yeah. That's important for business.
Yes, sir, group benefits, and he did a lot of work with Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
I had just, got my toes wet in Medicare a little bit and was just still really learning that. And what I did more was along the lines of, life insurance planning and investment planning. I'm an investment advisor representative,
Okay.
stockbroker. And do a lot of work for individuals there, and we put together those ideas and we got our big boost working through the associations, doing a lot of work with first responders.
Oh, yeah.
All across the state. We've got fire stations and EMS stations we work with from, as the man says, from Manio to Murphy. And it's, I can tell you this, it takes exactly 6 hours and 47 minutes to get to this little fire station we work with on the other side of Asheville. So we see them about once a year,
Yeah, you don't want to go too often.
No.
It's, just to slow you down a little bit, that's one thing you were talking about how easy it was. When it finally happened, you stopped by, he was ready to see you,
Mm-hmm.
it just happened. Isn't it funny? I've been in business 30 some odd years, various businesses.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in business longer than me. Isn't it amazing how sometimes when a deal's good, everything just falls into place?
Yes.
If it seems like you're having to push too hard, that deal isn't a good deal a lot of times. But sometimes it's like the whole world has conspired to make a deal just happen.
Yeah.
And everything fits together. And you call somebody who's like, I was getting ready to call you. Or you get somebody wanting a product and you happen to have just found out there's a warehouse full of them that somebody's trying to get rid of. That's just amazing. I don't know how to explain it, but it's happened over and over in my life.
Yep, for me too.
And I think any successful businessman has had that happen.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, because we're about entrepreneurship, is the fact that you were able to look at your skill set, and a lot of young entrepreneurs have a hard time with this. They look at their skill set, and that's the one they value, so they look for a partner who's got the same skill set.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work.
No.
A bird needs two wings to fly, two of the same wing, and you just tip over.
Yes. Yes.
So you're looking for a partner. He's got a completely different skill set than you do. He's associations, he's group benefits, Medicare. You don't do much with any of those yet. You've got a whole different skill set that adds to the pie, and you come together, and now instead of two guys fighting your own fight, now you got locations all over the state.
And to me, a big part of it, no matter what business you're trying to develop, is you got to have that burning desire to do what you do very well.
Yeah, you better.
And you've got to be willing to be kicked in the teeth several times.
Yeah. If it was easy, everybody would be doing
You'd
it.
be doing it, yeah. And you got to love it, man. You got to love it.
No question.
And fortunately for me, I have always felt a great sense of reward working in, what I'll say financial services, insurance, investments, all of that. There's a lot of opportunities to help people there, and that's what drives Joey and myself both. The rewards will come if you're able to get out here and do the work and help the people. The rewards will come.
And if you don't love it, it's hard to work hard enough. That's,
Yes.
I'll be honest, your job wouldn't excite me. I love what I do. I would do what I do for free. I run some retail stores. If I had to work flipping burgers at McDonald's, and I've done it in the past, if I had to work flipping burgers at McDonald's, and after work at night, somebody would just let me run the stores I run as a hobby for free. Say, hey, Fred, I'll let you. I would do it for free.
Yep.
I love it. Your job wouldn't do the same thing for me.
Oh yeah.
But if you love what you do, then it's easy. Now you can work at night when you're sitting at home. We were talking about that before the show started. You know, I'm at home most nights on my phone negotiating deals. We do some products where I have to get a hold of the factories late sometimes.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's fun for me. I don't feel like I'm working overtime. I feel like I'm having a good time. Your job, that's a 24-hour day job.
Yeah.
Insurance isn't
No.
that's a gig where people are going to call you at 11 o'clock at night.
Yes.
Excited because they got water damage and will their insurance policy cover it?
Right.
So you better love it.
Right. That's the truth.
Because
That is the
I'm
truth.
sure it's good money, but nobody pays you well enough to do something you hate up till midnight. Nobody.
No. It's, yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta be willing to put in the time, and know that for me, and especially in this industry, you gotta accept the fact that it's gonna change all the time.
The only constant in life.
Yes, sir. It's always gonna be something different coming. I mean, if you'd have told me in November, December, you're going to have a tough year next year, I would have looked at you like, you lost your mind, man. Next year, this is going to be a great year. I can see it building, you know, see it coming. And bam, this has been we had a staff meeting this morning, and we were talking about, really and truly, this has been a fantastic opportunity for us because it's given us some time to kind of catch up on a lot of things and then really look at what we were doing and, do we want to maybe not do this particular thing anymore and more focus on, I'll just say use Medicare as an example, find the things that we're really doing well with and are good at, and we have people that like to work in those areas. So this has been an opportunity for us. It's given us the little bit of time to just breathe a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's still, the rules have changed as far as how you can do business and what you have to do, and for a week or so there, it's kind of like, man, how are we going to handle this? We may be sitting here like this for a month, 5 months, who knows?
That's right.
And we just, it took us a few days, but we finally figured, you know what? People still will be turning 65. They're still going to need help with their Medicare. We got to figure out a way to get to them.
And times like this provide challenges and opportunity both.
And so it's made us do some things, get outside of our comfort zone and stretch a little bit, which is great. Because, I'm doing things now that a month or so ago I was just kind of, one of these days we'll figure that one out. We'll do it that way then. Now that's the way we have to do it now. It's the best way to do it now. And so we've learned quickly, had to get out there and hustle and make some changes. And I'm glad we did. It's kind of building steam every day,
Well, I don't remember which general it was. It might have been Patton that said, "No battle plan survives first contact with the enemy."
Right.
And we've had some contact with the enemy this year.
Yes, we have.
Nobody. I don't care how good your business plan, how good your projections were.
Yeah.
You didn't plan for what we've had happen the past few months. Nobody had COVID-19 in their business plan for this year.
No, I looked and looked and looked, and it was nothing. I saw nothing from the Department of Insurance about COVID-19 over the last. Went back 20 years, didn't find anything about it. So who knows?
So it's in business there's the quick and the dead, and you got to adjust quick. And I've done my little adjustments. You've done yours.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you though. I know you do all kinds of insurance, but for business, and this is gospel for any of you who want to start a business. You doggone well better get insurance. You doggone well better get good insurance that represents a value. Your property needs to be protected. Your inventory needs to be protected.
Yeah.
You're going to need health insurance. If you have any kind of family, you doggone well better get life insurance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of decisions to make on that. Why? There's 100 big insurance companies that advertise on TV. There's one with the lizard. There's one with a cool lady who is funny and makes me laugh.
Yes. We represent those folks.
There's all these companies that advertise. Instead of calling them directly and just saying, "Hey, Nationwide, I heard you're on my side," or "Hey, Lizard, what can you do for me?" Why would I want to call you? What's the advantage?
The good, what we bring to the table, locally here, we've been extremely fortunate to find people that are heading up certain areas like you and I talked a little bit about the property and casualty side of things that we do: homeowners, automobile, business insurance, commercial insurance. We have a lady who's just come in. I've known her for 3 or 4 years and been bugging her to kind of talk to me about coming to work with us because she has insurance industry expertise and the property and casualty side, the commercial side. And so she's in charge of that for us, because you start asking me questions about it, once you get past maybe group benefits and things like that, I'm gonna say, come on, we're gonna go here and sit down, and Mel's gonna take care of you. She'll tell you what we need to take care of and to do for you. So we're able to shop multiple companies.
All right.
Not just one. I was looking at a list the other day, and we've got about 12, 14 property and casualty carriers.
Okay.
Because some companies also specialize just in certain areas, and just certain things that they'll take care of. So that's the huge advantage, is you're not just buying insurance from the lady that wears the apron. We're able to do multiple companies, and because it changes. I learned that when I first got into the business, I was actually working with an insurance agency. I was living in the western part of the state, and I learned that very quickly. He had like 7 companies that he had in his stable, and that was my first close encounter with doing that, working with different companies, because he'd say, I'm trying to think, some of the companies we had back then, Peerless and USF&G were 2 big property and casualty companies, homeowners, automobile companies, and commercial lines. And that was great because he could use both of them. And we had clients who, part of it was with USF&G, part of it was with Peerless, and depending on their situation and what their need was, we could divide it up, or we could put it all in one house. So that's the big advantage, I think.
All right.
Is that, and again, like I said, locally we were very fortunate. We've got people who we're trying to find that have expertise in particular areas, and get them to come with us and kind of head up that area for us, that section for us.
That's important. So you're going head to head with some of the big national companies there.
Yes, sir.
We don't have long before we have to take a break, but just real quick, I've been in business in North Carolina. The current companies I'm running, about 16 years, I guess. We've got our health insurance through Blue Cross, and I don't know who everything else is. We got insurance for everything. What are the odds, and what is the time frame? If I want to say, hey, come look at what we got, see if you can save us $1. What's the time frame on that? Is it a 6-month wait before y'all can get over there?
No.
Is it going to take days of going through paperwork? What's the process?
Had that conversation this morning with a property and casualty person, and she was talking to everybody. She said, look, if you will just bring me what we call the declarations page off of your policy, which kind of lists the information we need to know, she says, I'll have it for you in a day.
Oh, wow.
I'll have a quote for you in a day, and then we can tell you, okay, it's going to take us, today is the 12th of the month, give us, in about 7 days we can come in here and do. So again, it depends on the product, what we're doing, but we can move relatively quickly.
And if I wanted a full business checkup for insurance, we, have you meet with, I don't handle the paperwork.
Right.
If I handle the paperwork, we'd probably all be in jail in my company, because I'm not organized that way. But I've got folks who are. If I wanted to have one of your team members come sit down with one of my team members, gather up the paperwork, just give me a business checkup, see if you can save me money. Is that a service y'all can provide?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's every day. We do that every day. That's how we do business.
Well, that's
I want to give you some value, man. I know that the people that work with us are intelligent people, and they're good at what they do. If they don't know the answer, we know who to call.
all right.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I do have his phone number.
There you go.
I can get him on the line, and we can find out what we need to find out.
All right, well, that's great. I feel really stupid now, because I don't think I've shopped insurance in years, and it's a significant expense.
Right. Yes.
And I'm trying to think of a downside to having you come in,
and
I can't
we,
think of one.
once we have a client, that's a big part of what we do is, I shop for you on a regular basis because it can vary so much, even in the span of a year, as to what pricing may be in different types of insurance. So it's definitely worth letting somebody get your information, and like I said, if you are a current client, then we've got your information, and we'll shop it for you and say, hey, we're going to move you from here to here because here's the savings we can get.
Yeah, I'm feeling really stupid now. You haven't said it, but I'm getting the feeling I may have thrown away tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars the last 15 years by just picking an insurance company and staying. Because I don't think I've ever gone through a local insurance company.
Right.
We've said, hey, Blue Cross, you're
Right.
our health insurance people, and just keep raising our rates. We won't pay any attention to it.
Right.
And you're a liability company, and yeah, I'm feeling like probably I could have done a better job at that. So if you have a business and you have insurance already, it's probably a good thing. And I'm after the show, I need to get your card and set up an appointment.
I mean, I truly believe most times we're going to be able to save you money. That's one thing. Hopefully, this year, again, I'm not the person that's involved in the property and casualty side as much, but, they tell me what's going on. And, I have clients that are, managed money clients of mine that we do their homeowners and their automobiles. And they're like, hey, man, y'all really saved me some money this year. You switched my home from this to this. You had me over here for 2 years, and then you called up and said, hey, we need to change.
All right, well, that's we'll talk about that some more after the break. We have to take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll be right back and talk about a little more insurance and how it can help you in your business and of course everything else.
New Entrepreneur Show is sponsored by Statewide Insurers Group. As an independent agency, we can shop your insurance needs for the best coverage and the best value. Also sponsored by the Small Business Centers of Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson Community Colleges, as well as the Eastern North Carolina Center for Business and Entrepreneurship.
Small Shops Marketplace is in the business of helping you go into business for yourself. Anyone with a dream and a product to sell can open a retail store here at Small Shops Marketplace. We're open 7 days a week with staff to assist your customers. Join dozens of your neighbors and try your hand at business ownership here at Small Shops Marketplace, located in the Inglewood Square Shopping Center at 2916 Sunset Avenue in the former Steinmart location. Welcome back to the New Entrepreneur Show. We're still here talking with Sherrill Braswell. I keep trying to check myself on that name.
Yes, sir.
Make sure I'm getting it right. And we were talking about insurance, and I'm feeling really stupid because we talked some during the break, and I definitely have thrown away some money by not getting my insurance looked at. So I'm going to get all of it looked at, all the business insurance, my homeowner's insurance, the car insurance. I got a 19-year-old who's on my insurance still. And one who's about to get her driver's license. So it's going to get worse.
Yes.
And y'all do all that.
Yes, sir.
So instead of having one company for life and one for business insurance and one for this and one for that,
we can put you under one roof.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. So on the business side, just quickly, because I'm curious, you told us about your story. You started in, you had an office in Roanoke Rapids, who your partner had, and you had an office here in town. And now you've got, what, 5?
Yes.
What was the trajectory of that growth? Was it all, did y'all plan the growth, or did it just kind of slowly evolve over time?
It pretty well came together over about a 2-year span, maybe, because we had, the office in Hickory. That's my brother. Okay. He was living in Halifax and had never been in the insurance industry. And I guess it was 4 years ago, he was just real not thrilled with what he was doing. He'd been there a long time, and I just said, well, let's sit down and talk a little bit. I said, here's what I think you could do. Because he's 63, yeah, or 64. I said, look, you got enough gray hair now. And I said, there's a whole lot of other people that have a lot of gray hair now. They'd be willing to talk to you. And if you learn this business, people are concerned about what is it that I'm supposed to do when I'm coming up on Medicare, up on 65, and I need to get enrolled in Medicare or Social Security. What do I do? How can I do that? I said, that's you, man. That's what you can do. And he's got into that and a couple of other things. He's picked about 3 areas that he works in, and he wanted to end up in the mountains area. He lives actually about 25 miles up the road from Hickory. He's right in the edge of the mountains. Okay. And so he's a happy camper. His wife teaches school up there. So that's how we got there. And then the office we have down around Albemarle, that gentleman was working with Joey for several years, and it was just natural for him to kind of meld in with what we were doing. And come together. The folks in Wake Forest, the group in Wake Forest, we're working with us now. We met them last July, I think it was.
Recently.
Yes, and we really formed a coalition in the last 6-8 months. The last 6 months, probably around November. Started really bringing it together, because I was like, guys, we're duplicating too many things that we're all capable. I said, I have people in-house that you're talking about hiring somebody in your office to do what they do for me. And I said, we have computers. And the computer can send a message to Wake Forest or to Timbuktu, whichever place we need it to go to.
That's right.
Just as easily. And you can communicate, and they can communicate with your clients. We can help each other out here. And because they have expertise in areas that we don't.
Sounds like you're a heck of a coalition builder. You're kind of the visionary who's putting together the pieces.
For me, that has been a great part of this little journey here over the last few years, because it's a little bit different business model. It's been challenging in that, believe it or not, everybody has an ego.
Oh yeah,
especially
in business.
And most of us that are small business owners, we're pretty sure we know. I know just a little bit more than you do about that,
And you have to think that to be in business.
Yeah, and you have to sit there, and around the table and butt heads a little bit, and then just finally it's like do you trust me? That's bottom line. Do you trust me? Because I don't care what kind of contracts we got, they aren't worth the paper they're written on.
That's so true.
And the only person that's going to profit from that contract is the attorney who settles the lawsuit.
Yep.
if you let it get away from you. So that's what we have done. Literally is forming I just call it coalition with other agencies, and it's working. It's work in respect that you can spend a good amount of time talking with somebody, and it goes nowhere. But that's business.
Oh, yeah.
You're trying to develop a client, and it just doesn't work out sometimes. But maybe it might 2 years from now. You never know.
It's a heck of a skill set though to build those coalitions. Mm-hmm. That's my dad had a couple of very bad partnerships where he got cheated. Mm-hmm. And so in my life in business so far, I've never had a partner, ever. Mm-hmm. I've had investors, but I always own 60 to 70% of the business, and I know I'm going to deal with them honorably, and they aren't in a position to cheat me.
Right.
And just recently, I'm in discussion with a guy I've known for 10 years, who's got businesses real similar to one of my business concepts. We've got a company called Trade It. We buy, sell, and trade stuff. He's got 2 stores himself, and I've got 3, and we're really looking into the idea of me owning a third of his stores and him owning a third of mine, and us bringing in a money person to buy the other third, so we have completely aligned interests.
Yeah.
because I've got some skills that his organization doesn't possess.
Right.
And they're valuable skills. But he's got some skills, him and his partner, that I also don't have.
Well, like the guys in Wake Forest, they have a couple things they do incredibly well that I'm just like, I was like, we can help you with that. I want you to lead the charge, but we can help with that. We can provide this part of the equation, and so far that's coming together. Little bit of work, but
I'm just starting to learn that skill. I've always been so maybe a control freak with my businesses. I've just seen people get cheated, and I never wanted to be in that position. So this will be my first time. But for me, each of us owning a third, it's hard to anybody cheat anybody. Now it takes two ganging up on one, and you combine that with a buy-sell agreement is what I'm thinking. So if James wants about the third partner, which will give him 60-some-odd%, well, I can jump in and take half of that, so we're 50-50. And it's interesting. I've never done it before, but at this point, I've never thought I needed to before.
Right.
Quite frankly, I always thought I knew everything I needed to know, but he's got some skills.
You bring in those skills, you bring in a whole nother set of ideas, another perspective.
That's right.
On what you're doing. Because I'm telling you, if you set my business partner here beside us and let he and I start talking, you're thinking, these guys are never going to come together on anything, and give us a little while to talk, and it's all of a sudden, bam, we got it melted. We got it melded together.
But it seems like it's working.
Yeah. Yes. We've had our bumps, believe me, we've had our bumps, but yeah,
well,
it's coming together.
Interesting story. I love the story, especially of the last few years with you going from one location to 5 and building this coalition and this organization in the state. And I encourage anybody, business owners and non-business owners, have somebody, and preferably statewide, right?
Yes, sir.
Preferably statewide with that neat flag on the shirt. Come by and take a look at your insurance. If they can't save you money, it won't cost you anything.
Won't cost you anything.
And if they can save you money, we all need free money in this time.
Yes.
So thank you for tuning in to the New Entrepreneur Show, and we will see you next week.
All right. Cool.
That should be it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I guess we're not supposed to shake.
The New Entrepreneur Show is sponsored by Statewide Insurers Group. As an independent agency, we can shop your insurance needs for the best coverage and the best value. Also sponsored by the Small Business Centers of Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson Community Colleges, as well as the Eastern North Carolina Center for Business and Entrepreneurship.